Ram handled those 4 engines that failed on me. If you're new to the channel, I'm very much a Ram guy over and over. I mean, shoot, I even bought a toy truck that's a Ram. Man, this is a fun one. But anyways, back to business. I've done very well with the 4th gens. Bit of a rocky road with early 5th gens, and here comes model year 22. In 22 alone, we picked up 8 units, and 4 out of the 8 failed. The engine grenaded. In this video is going to be a lot of talking. It's probably going to turn out a fairly lengthy video. If that's not what you came for, shut her down. So primarily 2 things. I'm going to go over again what fails in these engines, and I'm going to talk about how Ram handled it. The short version of it, they did solid. Could have they done better? Yes. But did they meet my expectations? Yes, also. So me being a business guy, was things perfect? No. But considering the environment, globally, locally, whatever you want to label it, and the time that it was all happening, Ram did just fine. I was expecting miracles to happen. My biggest concern was timing. Ram could have done a lot better for that. In this video, I'll also talk about finances, what I covered, what they covered. In short, I pretty much didn't cover anything out of the repairs. What cost me a lot of money is having my trucks down. These are brand new units. Seniors, long-time employees got these trucks. These trucks, I mean, 22 alone, right? We're in June of 23. In 22 alone, model year 22, they're all failing at 100,000. So you can imagine what kind of mileage getting racked up on these. These are the leaders. These are the, young blood ready to roll. These are the top performers in the company. All my top performers, seniors, and they get the brand new vehicles and they drive them. As they get older, we try to back off a little bit, more local, more regional kind of route. Doesn't necessarily get assigned that way, but and that alone should tell me. This should tell you, these things got the high drivers. And when we're starting to lose these trucks, right, brand new trucks, and they're going down, 100,000 is nothing for a Cummins, from my experience, and they're just going down like hotcakes. I mean, they're just like 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. And I got 8 of those things. I've gotten rid of a total of 5, but 4 out of the 5 got bad engines. The 5th one was just, I got offered a good deal. I let them have it, and that's that. Don't have to be a genius to do the same thing over and over and expect different results, right? Quite frankly, I'm just prepared for all my 22s to go kaboom. So that's out of the way. Now, how did Ram handle the situation? What I think Ram could have done a lot better is timing. They could have expedited. My first truck took months. I mean, you gotta still make your payments, and I had payments on those trucks. You still gotta make your insurance payment. You still gotta reposition your driver, meaning relocate him so he has a set of wheels. It was chaotic. It was horrendous. I was short-staffed, like a lot of people in that time. It was quite the time. And if you look at my history with YouTube 22, I mean, that's the least videos I've posted, right? Because I was just overwhelmed, overloaded kind of scenario. It was gnarly. So what Ram did okay, and why I say okay or solid, they didn't charge me for any of the repairs but one, if I'm not mistaken. They wanted a $200 deductible. I said, when and where, you could have it. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. It was actually a concern of mine that they would even cover the truck at all. No, Ram did me a solid on that one. Oh Lord, this is gonna be a long drive. Let me pass these guys. Alright, let's go. Get a little bit of fun. Ooh, she's moving. That's a closed course. I'll let them pipes sing sometimes. Alright. So that's the only view you get for now. Hey, you gotta let them ponies sing sometimes. Anyways, I was not anticipating that, but man, those guys are dragging their feet. Okay, we gotta miss a couple signs here. So that can't be identified on what road this was done on. It's closed. It was a closed course, but it was on a road. Anyways, yeah, this is why I have this truck. Always puts a smile on my face, despite the situation. And being a company owner, you guys know, like, you get put down. What I mean by put down, there's a lot of trials and tribulations in business. Anyways, back to driving. So, where I leave you guys at? Oh, Ram. So Ram covered every single one of them. They could have done better on timing. The first one really knocked the wind out of me. It was supposed to be up to a month scenario. We were on our 4th month, and I said, you know what? Can you guys please buy this off of me? I turned to the dealership. I said, can you guys buy this off of me? And they did. That's another video to come. How did Dishman treat me, and why I'm such a loyal customer to Dishman, and how do they do in return? So I'll do a video about that another time. So that's how I sold off the first one. Second one went down. I already have the experience with the first one. You know, it's supposed to be, hey, yeah, in about 3 weeks, this should be done. And they're like, based off what Star's telling us. That's the company that deals with it, or maybe that's the team that they call themselves. The corporation. And here goes 3rd, 4th, 5th week, and I'm like, all right, you guys want to buy this truck off of me? And they did me a solid, and they bought it off of me. The owner was involved in all this, and he did well. Mark took care of me. So when the 3rd and 4th one came, it was like, well, no, actually, hold on a second. The 4th engine that went down, I never sold that truck. I actually kept that truck. Yeah, 4th engine that went down has 108. That deal never got done. I took that truck back because I was not offered the money I wanted for it. And I couldn't blame Dishman for it, because given the mileage. And I was also starting to hurt for money. Given the mileage, 108, it's not a hot selling mileage. I mean, it's a diesel, it's just broken in. But nevertheless, yeah, I actually kept that engine. And that's the engine's having issues, minor issues right now. Back to the story. That's the only repair I had to pay for. So out-of-pocket expenses, that's the only repair I had to pay for. And $200 when they called me and said, and I was concerned that they wouldn't cover it at all, because I mean, it states 100,000 powertrain, right? And I'm at 108. They could have easily told me to pound sand, but they didn't. All they did, they said, if you could cover the deductible for $200. I'm like, when and where? Who do I write the check out to? $200, you could have it, just cover my engine repair, right? It's quite the trade. So that is why I'm saying Ram was a solid. They treated me solid. I also need to make a video on my recall. Ram did me right on that recall. We had our struggles, we had our back and forths, but I need to talk to you guys about that fuel recall on the fuel pumps on the early 5th gens. 19s and 20s had CP4s, and then Ram kind of backtracked and went back to a CP3. It's not necessarily backtracking. In the spec world, it probably is, because the CP4s produce higher pressure, but that's a video for another time. So with that being said, those are the main kind of highlights why I said Ram treated me well. They never charged me. They did the best they could, but timing was an issue. I really wish they did a little better on timing, but given the economy and the scenario, everyone was short-staffed, so supply chains were short. It's a snowball effect. You guys know about it if you're in business. So now let's talk about what goes on these engines, guys. I reached out to Dishman. I showed up to their office, and God bless their service advisors and all the good people, right? I came to the manager of the service shop. I asked him, can I do a video? And he talked to the owner. They allowed for it. But I just don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? If you guys watch my videos, if I'm ever on my property, I rarely record videos with my men around. It's a personal preference thing. Like, if someone's recording a video and I make it in that video, okay, I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but I prefer not to be. So with that mindset, with that thought process, it's just, I think for it to be done right, I need to come in, ask management to just see if their men genuinely are okay with me recording in the bay, because I mean, who knows at what time I'll be recording and where they'll be out. They might be walking by and they don't want anything to do with YouTube, and it could go back and forth. So I did not want to I did not want to put them in any, crappy situation. So that being said, I chose not to do a video. So once and for all, I'm not going to do a video inside their bay. The parts were there. They were shown to me. I touched them. Every engine had the same issue. The issue is the push rod works its way into the rocker. It's an oiling issue. If it would have been just, it could possibly be a metal issue as well, but if it was just a metal issue, you'd have certain components, right? But it's one thing takes out the other. So in my opinion, the rod goes into the rocker for the lifter or valves, and now you got play. Now the hydraulic lifter can't compensate for that, for all that wear, so it started rattle itself in there, right? And it's taking out the hydraulic lifter. So in the end, you got a scored cam hydraulic lifter. It's always 5th cylinder. It's really bad, and 6th is the second one in line. The rest of them are about the same. So to restore the engine, if you want to restore the engine or rebuild the engine, you got to do a cam, hydraulic lifters, push rods, and rockers. That's what goes. Sometimes they put a new engine, sometimes they rebuild the engine. In the end, they're more towards rebuilding the engine. I don't know how I feel about that. Shavings going down, the oil. I just don't feel right about it. So with that being said, take it for what it is. That's my own opinion. And with my engine that has 108, kind of turns out to be true. After the engine got built and the truck just ran a few hundred miles, we did another oil change and get all that crap out of there. But the driver was reporting some issues. We'll look into them. I know there's little issues creeping back up. And with that being said, I gotta wrap up my video. This video's gone pretty lengthy. So in another video, I'll talk about how Dishman as a company handled this whole situation, a little bit more detail. What they did well, what they did wrong. It's just going to be a genuine, honest video. But yeah, hopefully this video helps somebody. As you can tell, given the situation, I haven't given up on Ram, but I'm holding off until Ram changes something. As far as I know, and as far as it got relayed to me, I asked the guy that's in charge of these warranty claims at Dishman, what's Ram doing about this? Does Ram even care? He's like, oh yeah, they know they have a problem. They just haven't came out with a solution. So they're not being ignorant. They're not being stubborn and claiming. Clearly they stepped up to the plate, fixed all my engines. I just want to see how they're going to fix the issue. I want to see how they're going to resolve the problem. As I tell my men, problems don't scare me. The way you guys handle them sometimes do. So, and that's important, knowing who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? You're going into business with these people. You're buying their product. In my case, it's quite a few units for, a little guy like me. I started up this company from the ground up. It's a tough business to be in. High shotting is not an easy money maker. And that being said, and failure rate on that alone, like I said, the new equipment goes to the top performers, senior drivers. Those guys are racking in miles, and when the top performers are down, they're kind of SOL. So, anyways, fellas, hopefully this answers your question. Would I buy another Ram product? Absolutely, but after I see a change in the diesel world. Anyways, as always, may the Lord bless you. May you almighty find day. Ciao. Bye.